this has to be the rainiest fall time, or excuse me, springtime that we've had since we've been here. Now, I say that the first year we were here, we were still, you know, we parked in the truck camper down there at the hill. We didn't have the tiny house built. I do remember it being very muddy down there. It was so muddy that I ended up having to put bricks that we found up here. I'll show you the bricks here in just a minute. Down on the ground in front of the camper and at the back door, in 2 spots, so we could get out of the camper. It was just terribly muddy. But it's been terribly muddy this year too, so I don't know if it just gets muddy down here. But we laid bricks here, and then Carolyn made a little rug out of crochet yarn, and the camper was here. And then we put bricks up here also, so we can come around and get to the refrigerator. Now we've taken those up. I'll probably take the other ones up too. And I found all these bricks laying up there. These are the old-timey bricks. I remember my grandma and grandpa's house in Morse Mill, Missouri. Had these bricks everywhere. I don't know what they were used for, but I remember the holes in them. So that's what I had laying in front of the camper. But this year it's just been incredibly wet. And we just can't get anything done. I cut the grass. Well, I just cut the grass, what, 2 days ago? So I finally got it cut, but it was getting so bad even the subscribers were screaming at me about it, but I just couldn't cut it. There was no way to cut it. I tried. I did a path and the chute instantly clogged up. This was between in between 5-minute rain breaks. And it clogged up, so I figured what's the use in trying to cut the grass if the chute's just gonna clog up and ain't gonna cut. So I know the subscribers know how to take care of this place better than I do, and I would like for them to come over and do it sometime. In the spring, I should say. I just made a video recently. I was talking about springtime. It is the most challenging time. The chickens, the chicken run is just constantly muddy. I actually have 2 pairs of boots. Whether this makes a difference, but it's probably good to know, just so you know. The boots I have on now, which are waterproof boots, steel toe, and I always buy the same brand. I like them. They're from Walmart. So about once a year they wear out. This pair has actually lasted quite a bit longer, but I digress. So the older pairs I always save. They'll get a hole in them and they'll start to wear out or they break or something. So what I do is get the shoe goo. It's called shoe goo, and I fill in the holes. And then I use those shoes specifically to go into the chicken run, primarily in the spring. I always put them on. So in the morning, I don't have to go in there. So I put my regular boots on, wear them all day. And then in the evening time, Carolyn and I lay down to watch a movie. After the movie, the chickens go to bed. Recently, it's been about, I guess, about 7:30, somewhere around there. They go to bed. So I put my old boots on, go out there, I shut up the chicken coop, and then I feed them and water them and everything for the next day. But it's just so sloppy muddy that the boots are absolutely covered in mud. So you don't want to come back up here and just run the house up with mud, or even have your shoes the boots you wear all the time with full of mud. So I have 2 pair. I know that was a long story, and a lot of people probably don't care about that, but it is an aspect of it that you just got to be aware of it. You're gonna need 2 pairs of shoes so you can go into the house with your shoes on. Now I leave my shoes on. The other thing I should talk about briefly. I know in modern society everybody likes to wear shorts, and I know this is going to be a subject of which I'm going to get a lot of ridicule for, because in today's society everybody wears shorts. Now when I say this, I know John Wayne made a movie. He was a British soldier and he wore shorts. And he also wore shorts one time while at the beach. So if you're going to the beach or the pool and you want to wear shorts, that's great. Or if you want to make a movie where you're a British soldier, then you can wear shorts. But any other time, John Wayne wore pants. Well, why do you wear pants? Well, for lots of reasons. And it's always to protect your legs. Well, when you come out here into the weeds. You're going to pick up ticks. You're going to pick up poison ivy. You're going to pick up sticky bushes. And sticky bushes are everywhere. And snakes. Now, I know that a snake, your pants aren't going to protect your legs, but it could just, deter them, or they strike at the cloth of your legs. There's a lot of reasons to wear pants. But everybody wears shorts, and then, well, it's hot. I have to wear shorts because it's hot. It's not that hot. It's never that hot that you need to worry about tearing up your legs out here. But yeah, so steel-toe boots, and waterproof. And then you're gonna prevent cutting your toe off when you're using a chainsaw, which I think I just made a video recently. I want to tell you, I've ordered some parts to repair that chainsaw. Made a video about it. I'm pretty excited about getting that thing up and running. I think I can do it, so we'll make a video about that when I get it going. So, but then wear pants and get yourself the most expensive Carhartt coat they make. Most expensive one. I know it's terrible, you gotta buy the expensive one, but it's the warmest. I really love that coat, and they're durable. So those 3 or 4 things. Oh, and this poncho, you need a poncho because you're always out in the rain in the springtime. I guess this is when you're in Missouri, I should say. Arizona, apparently Arizona is so much better, and I apologize people who are in Arizona, but I always hear Arizona is a better place to live off grid. But the one thing I always say, you have to have water. And the one thing Arizona really struggles with is water. Missouri, we got plenty of water. So I would rather deal with too much water than not enough. But I came out here, once again, it was supposed to be just downpouring. I watched the radar. The app is telling me that we're supposed to be in severe thunderstorms and torrential rains, and we're all gonna die, and it's a drizzle. But again, I came out to check my pipe. I told you in the past, I put a pipe out here. This hooks up to my French drain. So now my French drain runs all the way around the building and then comes out on the downhill side. So if there's any water getting into the French drain, then it's going to come out here. That should keep water completely away from this thing. The unfortunate thing is the water, I've been telling you, the water gets discolored. And I've come to the conclusion, I've talked to a local around here, and he was telling me that everybody has the same problem that I was trying to keep from having. But the water gets discolored. What it is, it just seems to me what's happening is there's bedrock up here in these mountains. And if you ever drive through Missouri, maybe any state, but especially Missouri, they'll cut trenches in the middle of a mountain or a big hill to lay a road. Well, when they cut, they leave huge walls of granite and, I don't know, limestone and all kinds of stuff on the sides. And sometimes they're so bad that they actually have to put wire around it to keep the boulders from falling down. I don't see that too much here in Missouri, but in other states you do. So if you drive through one of these when it's raining really hard, you'll see water shooting out of the side of the mountain, just right out where they've cut it or blew it out or whatever. It's just shooting out. So water's coming down, going through the bedrock 50, 60 feet, and shoots out the side. So same thing's here, except there's no cutout. Water is going down through the bedrock into the river. I can say river, but it's not really, it's underground. And so it kind of collects up all that. It's not dirt, it's clean. It's just sediment and discoloration from the rock. And so it discolors the water. That's what I'm gathering. So it was getting a lot better and we were almost clean. But now here it's going to rain again for 2 days straight. Then we get a 1 day break and then it's going to do it again. Hopefully it doesn't saturate all the way down, but the ground was already pretty saturated. So I suspect it will. But what are you going to do? You just do the best you can. Now, something I do want to talk about, because I just got a message about the Berkey. Since this is kind of related to what I was just saying. So the drinking water here is fine. We know it's fine. We boil all our water or Berkey all our water. So when we drink coffee, for example, that water's boiled. And then when we just drink water, that water is out of the Berkey. And we don't boil too much anything anymore. You know, we eat carnivore, so we don't have to boil water for noodles or anything. The Berkey, the more you clean it, the shorter its lifespan will be. Because every time you clean it, you take these Scotch-Brite pads and you're scraping off a layer of the Berkey filter. The Berkey filter is a long charcoal filter, and you just scratch that off. So when we were nomads, we would have to clean the Berkeys every couple weeks. And so our filters only lasted about a year. We really abused the filters, which was fine. Now they're about 160 bucks now for a set of them, for a set of 2. So you want them to last as long as possible. Well, they can last up to 6 years, which is normal use, whatever that is. Well, ours are already 4 years old now, so we're close to being normal use. I clean my filters here about every 6 months. Other than when the water gets discolored like this. When the water gets discolored like this, it takes about 2 months for them to start to slow down. So what my process is if the filters take longer than 3 hours to filter out the top tank, because that's where you put the water, if it takes longer to filter than 3 hours, then your filters need cleaned. So then you follow the cleaning instructions on your Berkey. And that should be about every 6 months, is what I'm gathering. Now this is all from experience. This isn't anything that people tell me or anything, but if it's longer than 3 hours, then I go ahead and clean them. So, like I said, in the springtime, I clean them about every 2 months, and then the rest of the year, it's around 6 months. Now, I know that the math doesn't add up. So, what I did was right before all this rain, I cleaned them, and then just recently, I cleaned them again. So, it's been about 2 months. If you stick your ear up to it, you can hear it just kind of like a steady stream when you first clean them. And then later you'll hear it go drip, 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 drip. So it's starting to slow down on its filtration. That's how you kind of monitor how it's doing. Now the first set I ever owned, well, not the first set, the second set. The first set my ex-wife took with her. But the second set I ever owned, I never cleaned them. I was always busy, never had time. I was working for an employer and all that. So I never cleaned them. And it was really slow. It would take all day for it to filter. And I think it got to a point where it was even taking longer than a day for it to filter. I'd get half of it filtered out, and then I would use it again, and I'd fill it back up. I neglected it. Well, when I finally did clean it, it had a calcium buildup on it. Now, here's the thing about Berkeys is it allows good calcium to go through. But this was getting calcium built up on it. So I took a knife and I scraped it off. What I realized is I got them so clogged up that they could not be cleaned. So you do have to clean them. Otherwise, they're no good. So that pair lasted about a year. Every set we had on the road lasted about a year, but I was cleaning them all the time. This is the first set where we've even come close to having them live their lifespan. So again, filter the water. If it takes longer than 3 hours for it to filter, then you probably should clean your filters. So I think we're looking okay out here. It's not raining too hard yet. I might have to come out later and check it again. But if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to that video where I was talking about the chainsaw. So if I can inspire you to get through tough times when you're living your dreams. Thanks for watching.